Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mike. Welcome, everyone. So we're going to be talking a little bit about sort of financial planning, financial advising, and how things are changing as we head into this digital age over the next couple of years. Now, we're going to talk about a lot of different topics and areas, but as sort of a general groundwork for you, we're going to be throwing the football about 10 years downfield, sort of a giant Hail Mary pass here. I'm not going to spend as much time talking about the details of quite how we're going to get from where we are to the other end. Some of it involves technology developments that are going to come forward over time, but we don't quite have all the tools yet. But I want to try to paint a picture for you of what this is going to look like in the future as we look at how financial advisors engage their clients, work with them, and succeed. So I want to start by actually painting sort of an example of one of these future relationships around financial planning. So we have Perry the planner and Carl the client. They've been working together for 4 years now. Carl's got a financial plan that lives entirely in the cloud. It can be accessed anywhere from any kind of device. So the whole idea that we're going to be printing out plans and projections and illustrations and things like that is going to be gone soon. We just don't need to carry around the paper when we've got tablets and devices and smartphones, and apparently soon I'll be able to pull this up on my watch. Whatever technology is that we want, we'll be able to access it from anywhere. And the virtue of having all this information live in the cloud truly is that I can access it from anywhere at any time. Even as I operate virtually all of my business right now, I run my business from this. And I'm able to do that because of what lives in the cloud already, never mind where we're going a couple of more years down the road. Now, because the information lives on the cloud, it makes it a lot easier to keep track of how our clients are moving towards their goals. In the traditional world, we sort of have taken for granted what a pain it is when we actually have to check in with our clients and see how they're doing, which involves that awkward process where we ask them for updated information and then we go through the painful process of trying to get it out of them. That vanishes in a world where everything's on the cloud. Why? Our information's going to live in a financial dashboard. Last week was the Financial Innovation Conference in New York with about a half a dozen different providers who are creating all sorts of fascinating personal financial management dashboards. If you've heard of Mint.com, that's sort of the early version. There will be many more to come. So we'll be able to see exactly where our financial situation stands at any particular time just by looking it up online on our dashboard. But because it's online and because the internet is always connected to each other, that means every night that information gets updated automatically. It's going to pull it straight in from my financial institutions. So truly at any day, at any minute, I'll be able to check out and see exactly where I stand financially. That also means in working with clients, it will become very easy to actually get a sense of exactly where they stand financially at any particular time. Now, once we know that capability of how clients are doing and where they stand, it lets us be much more proactive in how we work with them. That might be anything from we log into our software in the morning and it tells us, here are 3 people whose contracts are coming up for renewal at the end of the time period. Here are 4 clients who you might want to contact about refinancing their mortgages because rates just dipped down far enough and we know that the threshold is appealing. Here are 2 mortgage brokers that you've been doing some business with already that you could refer those clients out to. So think of your financial planning software and the tools that you use to interact and do projection with your clients. The software is going to tell you a lot more in the future so that you can spend a lot more time just talking to your clients and interacting with them and addressing whatever their needs and concerns happen to be. Now, at the same time, we're going to see a much richer communication environment to be able to communicate back and forth with clients. Early on, we met face-to-face. Then we decided, well, maybe phone calls occasionally are helpful. Then we added in emails. Going forward, it's going to be social media, it's going to be texting, it's going to be video chat, which I think we're going to find explodes onto the scene over the next couple of years. And is a really big deal because it puts the face-to-face back into virtual meetings when you can literally see their face and they can see yours. So we're going to have a much richer communication environment and medium. For a lot of you, that's actually going to make it easier for you to grow your businesses because you'll be able to meet with people face to face regardless of where they happen to be. And we'll see the separation of geography from a lot of our businesses. Growth opportunity for some, huge challenge for others. Now, one of the key things about the example we're looking at here is Perry and Carl have never met in person themselves. Perry's from Philadelphia. Carl lives out in California. He's an ophthalmologist and was looking online for tips and guidance about how to sell his medical practice and structure his retirement now that he's getting ready to sell his business. And he found Perry, a planner in Philadelphia, who specializes in working with ophthalmologists. The one guy in the country who specializes in the exact problems that this particular client has, it's a match made in heaven. And you're going to see a lot more of that in the future. One of the big themes that we're going to talk about several times is the idea of having a focus, having a niche, having a specialization. Historically, I think a lot of us have been afraid to do that. If I don't feel like I have very many clients when I can work with anybody, how can I possibly have more clients by targeting fewer people? Yet in reality, the opposite is true. Because if someone types financial advisor into Google, they're going to find a couple bajillion people. But if you type who's the best financial planner to work with ophthalmologists who are selling their practice, you may find one person that comes up. Now, you might only be able to access all the ophthalmologists in the country, but if you go and look it up, it's a whole lot of people, and they have a whole lot of money.